As with the other course videos, I'm going to try to keep this brief, but I thought it may be a good idea to introduce myself so when you do get emails from me, you have an idea who's talking to you or what that guy's like who's writing these emails. So, very briefly, I just want to go over introducing myself. So, whether or not you know whose class you signed up for, my name is David MacKinnon, and I'm going to be teaching this class over the next 16 weeks. So as you get emails from me and signed, from David, you can associate my face with that. When you come looking for me in the writing center in my office, you'll know what I look like when you do find me. So hopefully this information, and it's kind of just cursory information, will give you a greater idea of who I am. And there's no test on this, so if you're not interested in this, you don't have to actually walk through it. But I'm going to walk you through this very briefly. Um, I've been teaching at the university since 2009, and I've taught a variety of courses: ENC 1101, Lit 2000, technical writing, professional communication. So basically, any writing course at the 1, 2, and sometimes 3000 level, I've probably taught. And I've worked with a lot of students in that time, seen many students graduate, go on to grad school. Really neat experience. I'm interested in writing. I'm interested in communication, and I'm interested in having conversations about how you see writing. So as we go through the semester, you'll probably be able to pick that up in our conversations. That I'm genuinely interested in what you think about writing and how you see its value, or maybe lack of value, or lesser value, or greater value than I see it, in a lot of our interactions. Background, though, why do I teach the way I teach? That might be interesting to you. I don't know. Uh, I'm an Army brat, so I've traveled a lot, and I've kind of taken on the travel bug since turning 18 because now I don't have the benefits of military parents stationed abroad. But growing up, I actually grew up in West Berlin before the wall fell. When my parents were stationed there, and so I've seen a lot of Western Europe, and I had the second opportunity actually during the course of my high school times in the late '90s to live in southern Germany, in Bavaria. And so, again, a lot of opportunities to travel and seeing Western Europe. So I like to travel. Education, after I graduated high school, I settled down in College Park, Maryland, and studied chemistry for a little while before realizing that really wasn't my interest, and switched over to English and French literature, and actually ended up switching to UNF, where I hold two degrees, my bachelor's and master's degree in English literature, and I've been teaching here since I graduated. So in a lot of ways, I've seen UNF change over the last, we'll say, 12 years now, which is as long as I've been in one place. So I'm pretty fond of UNF, and you'll probably see me pretty frequently on and about campus, going to campus events. But just to give you an idea of my background, it runs the gamut from chemistry, math, and physics to English and the humanities. So I like to talk about and read about a lot of different kinds of topics. So if you want to talk about those things, I'm happy to, learn a few new things as well. Beyond education, though, I've got a varied set of interests that keep me occupied outside of the class. So beyond, teaching and reading up on course ideas, avid beer drinker, I guess we'll say. I do like to find out about new beers, try new beers when I travel, trying out the local beers. Big Whovian, love Doctor Who, maybe not the latest Doctor with Peter Capaldi, but definitely a Tennant fan. Cycling and running, and well, coffee and beer kind of go together, right? My wife and I are, again, avid travelers. We just got back from a trip to Slovenia and Croatia from this past summer, and beautiful part of the subalpine area. I had never even thought to go there, but it ended up being a really gorgeous and adventure-packed trip. But traveling, exploring, palate, taste, those kinds of things, and cycling, running. Doctor Who's probably one of the few TV shows I do like right now, or maybe The Americans too. It's been pretty good the last couple of seasons. In the background of some of our videos, you may occasionally hear my dog, her tags rattling, or her whining or barking, trying to be let out. That's Trevi. Trevi's a 2-year-old adopted, we'll say mixed dog, I'm not sure. They say Japanese Chin and Lab Retriever. She's pretty adorable, but at the same time she can be obnoxious and whining. So if you do catch that in the audio clips or video clips, I'm sorry for that. Otherwise, though, some things I wanted to kind of just finish up with. In your introductions, I've asked you to identify what your metaphor is. That's kind of an empty question, really, just to kind of get you to think about how do you connect to the world? What kinds of figures of speech do you use to talk to other people or to explain ideas that are hard for them to understand or have explained to you when they're hard to be understood from your perspective? For me, for example, I think a lot and talk a lot in trigonometric or ratios, proportions, or maths in general. Running, thinking about things in terms of practice and working on process or steps, how you actually work through your running gait, whether it be for a 5K or a half marathon, pacing, training, all these kinds of things. So, what's your metaphor? Is it something in a discipline like a science? Is it something from a personal background like a religious thing, a textual thing, a Harry Potter thing? So when you answer that question in the discussion board, I just want you to think about it. It's non-consequential, but it's just kind of a gestating question. What's your metaphor? How do you see the world? Through what kinds of lens? How can I see back through your lens to you, to talk to you? And that will be a good place for us to start as we work towards the next 15 weeks. And just in closing, I want to point out and echo the office hours posted in Blackboard, but I'm on campus generally daily. I ask that you make an appointment to see me because sometimes I'm, moving about campus, going to meetings and trying to do other things. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm available 11 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So make an appointment during those times if you can through the links in Blackboard where it says schedule a conference with David. Or on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the afternoons from 1 to 2, for example, the first day of class, I'll be in my office from 1 to 2 if you want to just pop in. So you can call those pop-in hours, open hours. They don't require any appointment. So, come by, say hi, or if you have a question, feel free to do that. And on the back side of that, there's Skype as well. Our class is online. It's an online course, so I don't mandate any in-person interactions in this way. If you want to leave me a message on Skype or have a chat via Skype, it's a great feature. I'm always checking my email. As soon as I get up in the morning, I'm checking email, writing back students, grading work. So if you send me an email, generally speaking before 5 p.m., I'll probably get back to you the same day. And if not, it'll be probably 5:30, 6 o'clock the next morning. You'll get a response back. Few things are so pressing, I think, that they require immediate feedback after hours, after 5 or so when I'm doing other things. But otherwise, I'm real excited for the class, and I hope this cheesy presentation has given you some insight into maybe some more contextual information or humanized me or made my email signature, best David, something more familiar to you. And as you have questions or you want to comment on my discussion board introduction, yeah, please feel free to. I'm glad to answer questions or give you some more information about me and about the course generally.